Like if you found the video valuable. Eleanor and Caleb Mercer had only been married for 6 months when they bought the house on Sycamore Lane. A 2-story Victorian with a wraparound porch and ivy crawling up the side. It was the kind of place people imagined in storybooks. It was also too cheap for the neighborhood, which made Eleanor pause, but Caleb was smitten. Some people just need to sell fast, he said, brushing her worries away. It's perfect for us. It was. At first, Eleanor, a freelance editor, worked from home. Caleb, a real estate agent, had unpredictable hours. She'd grown used to being alone in the house all day. What she wasn't used to was the feeling that came with it. Like she was being watched, even when the curtains were drawn. The first time she noticed it, she had just gotten off a Zoom call with a client. She'd left her laptop open on the dining room table when she heard a soft click, like a microphone turning off. The laptop screen had dimmed, but she could have sworn the light on the webcam had flickered just a second before. She chalked it up to nerves. But then things escalated. It started with whispers, not from outside, not even from another room. Inside the room, when she was alone. Faint, unintelligible, like static, but laced with words just out of reach. She told Caleb, but he laughed. It's an old house. Creaks and pops. Pipes talking. But Eleanor knew the sound of a pipe, and this wasn't it. She stopped working in the dining room and moved upstairs. That's when she found the room behind the closet. A hidden panel behind her clothes led to a narrow space filled with dusty tape reels, wires, and wall-mounted audio jacks. It looked like someone had once rigged the entire house for sound. "Babe, it's probably just some Cold War paranoia room," Caleb said when she showed him. People used to do weird stuff. Eleanor wasn't convinced. She tried removing some of the equipment, but something, or someone, always seemed to plug it back in. Chapter 2. The First Secret. One night, Eleanor and Caleb argued over something petty, finances, dishes, maybe both. They never raised their voices. But the next morning, Eleanor found a handwritten transcript of the argument sitting on the kitchen counter. Word for word, she confronted Caleb. "This isn't funny." He swore he didn't do it. They started searching the house. In the attic, they found an old storage trunk with dozens of transcripts, dating back to 1974. Names, dates, conversations, arguments, confessions, intimate secrets, all recorded, all typed or written by hand. Some even marked with notes like, subject agitated, or, repeat trigger successful. The house wasn't just listening. It was analyzing. Chapter 3. The Last Tenants. Eleanor visited the local archives and library. She found 2 previous owners, both couples. Both had died under suspicious circumstances. One in a double suicide. The other in a murder-suicide that was ruled accidental, due to a supposed gas leak. But the more she read, the more it became clear. The couples had been manipulated. Their trust eroded, their minds twisted, by what? A person? The house itself? Back home, Caleb seemed off. Distant. He started locking his office door. Late-night calls. Whispering. Eleanor feared the house was turning him against her. Then one day, she found his voice in one of the labeled tapes. A conversation they had never had. "She's starting to ask too many questions," Caleb's voice said. "Then she needs to be handled," another voice replied. She dropped the tape. Chapter 4. Recording the recorder. Eleanor set up her phone to record the dining room overnight. In the morning, she found 3 hours of silence, except for one moment at 3:41 a.m. footsteps. A chair scraping. A soft voice. "Delete recording. Replace with white noise." Her phone had obeyed. She switched to an analog tape recorder the next night. This time, she caught something chilling. A voice whispering. "She's trying to trap us again. We must adapt. She cannot be allowed to leave. Us. Not him. Not Caleb." The house was talking. Chapter 5. Escape Plan. Eleanor packed a bag and drove to her friend Vanessa's place 2 towns over. She didn't tell Caleb, just vanished. That night, her friend's dog barked nonstop. Eleanor's phone screen kept lighting up with messages she never typed, fragments of her own conversations from weeks ago. Even at Vanessa's, she wasn't safe. At 3:41 a.m., her phone powered off on its own. When she turned it back on, the wallpaper had changed to a photo of the dining room table. Taken that night. She had no idea who took it. Chapter 6. The Final Recording. Eleanor returned to the house one last time with a private investigator named Gordon Ricks, a retired cop with a stubborn streak. They set up old-school surveillance, nothing digital. cameras, microphones, cassette decks. At 3:41 a.m., they sat in the garage, watching the monitors. In the footage, the dining room door opened slowly. Nothing visible came through. Then the lights flickered. The audio spiked, white noise laced with words. Your secrets are ours. Your silence is our safety. Your fear feeds us. Then every camera went black. The audio kept rolling for 2 more hours, recording faint breathing and laughter. Childlike, joyful. Epilogue. The house on Sycamore Lane is still on the market. The price has dropped again. The listing calls it smart wired for modern surveillance. Gordon Ricks disappeared 2 weeks after the investigation. Eleanor hasn't spoken publicly since. But if you send her a letter, handwritten, with no return address, she might send one back. It'll contain a transcript of your last phone call, even if you made it in another city.